Welcome, guys. So I hope you can hear the sound bowls in the background. I just want to use this moment to clear the space so that it can be ready for you to receive you. Beautiful. Guys, welcome. To get things started, just say a quick little hello in the chat. Let me know where you could be tuning in from. I'm super excited about what the divine has in store for you for this first inaugural weekly meditation series. I have been so excited to get things started so that you can finally have a space to relax, to be seen, to feel as though somebody cares about you. So as we're welcoming everybody in, I've just got a few things to sort of start anchoring stuff in to get you guys all set up so that you can have a very enjoyable experience. First thing on the list, if you have a notebook, make sure you have one nearby. I find that whenever I do these types of meditations, I get a lot of downloads and inspiration, and I'm really hoping that your mind is going to be relaxed and open enough to receive these downloads, especially if you have felt really stuck. That seems to be the theme based on what you guys have been telling me from the MailChimp survey I'd sent out over the course of the week. So have a notebook nearby, get comfy. And I think someone here is probably smoking something. So make sure you have some water for that cotton mouth. It's going to be very important that we have hydration nearby. That includes having some water or a cup of tea nearby. It'll help anchor you. And as you heal, it'll help get those juices flowing. And as we get ourselves started here, I want you to check in with yourself. You can put it into the chat. You can write it on a piece of paper. What is your intention for this meditation? Even if you just need one word, just to kind of anchor that in, just to say to the universe, I want to get this. And I'm not even going to give you suggestions because this needs to come from your heart. If there's any kind of fear or doubt or tension, I'm just going to invite you to lean into those emotions. When we ignore our emotions, when we try to bypass it or even rationalize it away, that's a really great way to keep traumatic energy stuck in the body. So if you have any fears, write it down, just acknowledge it, feel into it, and release it. And if you're having any struggles with it, that's okay. That's what the session's going to be about, that you can feel safe to feel your emotions, that you can feel into the frustration. And even in some ways, give yourself a little bit of permission to vent inwardly, to vent to the universe. It's very special because with everything that's going on in the world right now, it is pure chaos and it's very challenging. A lot of people, they're not doing well. And it's like the past keeps coming back to haunt them. And you may be experiencing that in your life or observing that in the people that you love and care about. So for today's session, we're going to be spending the next hour in a relaxing, meditative state, and I will be channeling Reiki energy, which is also known as universal life force energy. It's a Japanese modality. The session is going to be perfect if you're brand new to meditation, brand new to Reiki energy, But honestly, this is going to really be a space where if you're somebody who struggles with meditating in general, like you feeling resistant or feeling shame or feeling weird about it, hey, Nico, welcome. It's going to be important that you just acknowledge your feelings, but it's okay to struggle. Like, it's okay to have a difficult time quieting your mind. That's the whole point of us being here today, that I can give you the space that you can kind of allow your brain to relax, even if it's still feeling a little bit squirrely. What's kind of cool about meditation that you may or may not, we'll find out, you may or may not have a contact with a higher spiritual being. Do not be alarmed. This is just the higher version of yourself, the version of you that loves you so fucking much. It's trying to find ways to communicate to you. That could be through shapes and colors. Maybe you hear words or see symbols. Sometimes that's when the inspiration kicks in. But the ultimate, like, sort of like the ultimate bonus is this sense of emotional release and emotional relief. That said, nothing might happen. And if nothing happens, totally okay. And I'm really glad, Nico, that you're listening to the energy. I've been feeling that franticness of, I need to get this done. What about this? What about that? Like that set of paranoia. We're going to go, whew. We're going to clear that out for a second. You don't need to be that way in this space, because that's the energy that'll keep you running in circles and, kind of knocking yourself in, the head. And I'm sorry if that ends up being literal for you. I really just want you to guys have fun. This is about self-care. If you don't have the ultimate spiritual experience, that's okay. You can come back and try again and again and again and again. The whole point of this series is to help you build consistency. Because when we're talking about that paranoid, like having our mind going up all over the place, that is the opposite of consistency. Consistency gives us a chance to build a proper foundation. It gives us a chance to start moving forward a little bit more sequentially. And when we have to take a step back and start again, yeah, you can feel the feelings, but then recognize that there is wisdom sometimes in starting again or having to start from scratch. Like, I don't even know how many of you guys even know me. I don't even know myself. I've been getting to know myself all over again for the past few months. And I want to thank all of you guys who stuck with me while I have been taking some time to get myself back into alignment and figuring out what it is I want to do with my practice. Hello, my name is Berries. And I own the business Bloom Into It. That is my practitioner and healing business that I've had established within the last year or so. I have been a Reiki master for about 3 years now, but I've been practicing Reiki for almost a decade. Like, even when I went to go check my notes, I was like, oh my goodness, have I actually been doing Reiki for 10 years? And it's like, yes. Like, I don't even remember how I got into Reiki. I don't even remember how I found out about it. At the time, I was diving into a lot of yoga. I'd gotten into sound baths. That's why had some sound bath music going on in the background to welcome you in. Hey, hey. And when I got into Reiki, I was in the process of leaving my very, very unfulfilling marriage. Those of you who've been around for quite a few years know all the fun stories. It's a great little soap opera that I had. That was my marriage. And I ended up signing up for an online course, still having no idea what Reiki is. I honestly think my original reason for getting into Reiki was to defy my spiritual upbringing. So this is the result of my oppositional defiance disorder, and I stand by it unapologetically. I had been struggling with chronic illness most of my life, and I tried almost everything to manage my body, my emotions, and my mental health. But what's really cool, the year that I started using Reiki was the year my entire life started to radically change. it was still another 7 years before I ended up becoming a Reiki master. And I'm so excited because I get a chance to forward it and share it with you guys, especially for those of you who are interested in becoming Reiki practitioners yourself one day. I'm a former graphic designer, and I spend most of my time these days learning and working as a glass blowing artist. Again, a few of you guys who've been with me for quite some time knew me before I got into glass blowing, and it has been a lovely shift in my life. Um, Despite the fact that in 2024, if I can believe it, it's been 18 months since I got laid off from my corporate job as a graphic designer. And that's when the universe just kind of kicked me in the butt and said, this is your time, Berries. This is when you step in and become a fucking priestess. And even then, when it first happened, I did not believe it. And I didn't even believe it in myself at the time. It's been a really rough start to my healing ministry. I have been recovering from multiple abusive relationships, both like business, romantic, personal. And part of the reason I had to take some time off was because I had not yet come to terms with the abusive nature of my twin flame and my twin flame journey. And I had to really take a step back because I wasn't honoring myself. And if I'm not honoring myself and being honest with myself about what actually happened in that dynamic, I can't serve you guys. In some ways, I felt like the universe put a bit of a gag order on me because I wasn't helping you guys because I wasn't helping myself. But today's theme, like for those of you guys who took the time to vote on the survey, I was so excited to see a lot of your responses. And there's two themes that really stood out that the collective seems to be really gravitated towards is feeling safe, but also trusting divine timing. And it's interesting because on one hand, I feel like some of you guys, you don't want to move forward because it doesn't feel good and you don't feel safe. And then there's the other half of the spectrum of, I want to move forward. How come the universe isn't giving me what it is that I'm looking for? So I'm kind of sitting in the middle of this sort of radical paradigm, getting my business established. So I'm feeling these energies with you. But what's really cool, and this is my big news, I've actually kept this pretty quiet. I've actually joined a university, and I've been doing some university studies for metaphysical sciences. My goal is to actually become a genuine ordained minister of metaphysics, essentially becoming an official priestess. Like there's so many things that have been going on, especially with Mercury in retrograde, where a lot of folks have been realizing that, wait, I'm not doing what I want to do. And people are angry, defiant, lazy, frustrated. Why? Because they're not doing what it is that they're called to do. And I realize I'm being genuinely called to start a ministry. And I'm going to be working up to a doctorate. So, crossing fingers, one day you guys will get to meet Dr. Berries. I'm really excited to meet her one day. I got some really cool ideas. But because of this program, it has required me to take on a meditation practice, a daily meditation practice. And I knew I was not ready to step into this new timeline until I was ready to start taking time for myself. Having that beautiful communion time with the me, myself, and I, and really understand what it means to be divinely connected on a day-to-day basis. And guys, like seriously, like you've seen me, a lot of you have seen me go through our neurotic spectrum of crazy healing, and you guys have had a chance to go along with me on this timeline. But as I have begun to meditate on a daily basis, I can feel my brain literally shifting and changing shape. Like I'm literally muscle memory within my brain. I can notice how I'm communicating in a much different way. And my body's beginning to digest and clear out emotions a lot more efficiently. And I'm not holding on to old energies in the way that I used to. But when it comes to meditation, consistency is critical. It is essential. And that's why I'm building up these sessions, these weekly sessions that I'm going to be inviting you guys back to week after week after week. because not all of you are ready to dedicate your daily lives to meditation, but I'm really hoping that this is going to encourage you to start taking some time and finding the joy, the fun, and the pleasure of Reiki meditations. My only caveat is this is the only downside to meditation that I found. You might smoke less weed. Like, I'm sorry, I know some of you have kept your identity being the stoner. So if you want to take up meditation and you want to make it a little bit more serious part of your practice, a piece of your identity is going to have to die. This is an ego death. And I actually get the sense this is going to be so important because we hold on to bad habits because we're just accustomed to being that person. That's our label. It's our persona. But some of the energies that we are going to be channeling both verbally and energetically, this is just accepting that a previous version of you is not compatible moving forward, but you can still have so much love and compassion for that person. I haven't smoked in 2 years. I will forever be a stoner regardless. So say we all. I love it. All right. I want to get into the verbal activation. So now that we're all here for a second, just I want to take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Give yourself a chance to just relax into this energy. This is a chance for you to anchor yourself in. Let's take another deep breath. Hold for a second and out. Oh, feel free to stretch. Like the moment I hit record, I suddenly got a lot of tension in the back of the shoulders. So as you're trying to learn to get to know your own energy, and as I am channeling this message to you, I'm going to give you a bit of an exercise. Do what you can to allow the energetic flow just to move through you no matter what. The space is sacred. You are safe and you are loved. So before we start the Reiki flow tonight, I want to validate where you guys might be at this time. When I tapped into the energy a little bit earlier, I did notice the heavy split. I was talking about that just a moment ago. Half of you are desperately seeking this safe harbor, feeling safe in your body and your emotions and your environment. And there's another half of you that are just completely exhausted, trying to force your life to move forward. Whether that feels like a blockage. I know that there have been a lot of sick kids and plumbing issues, just a lot of clusterfucks that have been getting in people's way that may feel as though you're being blocked. If you feel like you're being blocked from the universe, it does not mean you are bad. It means that the universe is trying to get your attention with something that's right in front of you, because there's an answer standing right before you that will give you the answers that you need. You just need to slow down enough to observe it, slow down enough to actually see it. When you make a conscious choice to make your own decisions from your own heart space, there is a grieving process. I'm going to repeat this. When you make a conscious choice to make your own decisions from your heart space, there is a grieving process. There's a grief of losing an old community, losing your friends, and again, losing that version of you that's accustomed to surviving the chaos. And because honestly, that version of you, the survivor version of you, worked very hard to make ends meet. And you could be at risk of feeling useless or worthless. So the frustration is understandable. And again, I want you just to acknowledge the emotion. Don't feel bad that you feel this way. I actually, for this session, really want you to feel your emotions. It's going to be very important because you have something repressed in your body that needs to be released. And the Reiki energy will keep your mind safe so that you don't manifest chaos. So there are protections in place for you guys. And honestly, if you're just tired and you don't know what to do with this space, you're safe just to be here. So just be the person that you are in this moment right now, okay? we're going to be looking at 3 false pillars. There are 3 mindsets that we need to break down before I can give you the Reiki activation. These are 3 things you've lied to yourself about, or 3 mindsets or 3 habits that you just don't need anymore because you're ready to build the new. You're ready to build your new proverbial kingdom. The first false pillar is the trap of hypervigilance. Like, hold on, let me overthink this for a second. The first pillar we're breaking today is the belief that your anxiety keeps you safe. Many of you have accepted the state of hypervigilance as your normal baseline. And it's sort of like you're acting like a page of swords, always watching, always analyzing, caught up in doom scrolling, anticipating the next attack or maybe the next failure. But what happens is you get stuck in this lie that's making you believe that you have to overthink every possible scenario because you think you won't get hurt. If I overanalyze, if I make sure I have all my ducks in a row and nothing ever goes wrong, I won't get hurt. So tonight we have to shatter that pillar of hypervigilance. And we're going to be using the Reiki to help your nervous system so you can finally rest and actually allow miracles to occur. So the second false pillar that we need to break down tonight, I call this like the martyr's currency exchange rate. we talk about reciprocity, giving and receiving energy. But the second false pillar is the belief that you must overgive in order to be worthy of receiving. I'm going to repeat that. The belief that you must overgive to be worthy of receiving. This is the shadow of the Empress. You could also call this the martyring mother, the over-dedicated mother. And even if you're a dude, you can be the martyr mother if you are over empathizing with somebody else's trauma drama and you feel the need, you feel obligated to soothe another person. And the worst part is usually if you have to soothe these other people, they're really mean, they're snide. And being a good mother, a good feminine figure means that you have to tolerate it. That is, I feel like I kind of hit a nerve there. Don't worry, you are safe. You are loved. You believe that to be safe, to be loved, or to receive your abundance, you have to nurture everybody else first. That is the opposite of self-care. So as a result, you bleed yourself dry, trying to make sure that everybody else is comfortable, hoping that the universe will eventually pay you back. So tonight, we're also going to be shattering the pillar of the martyr, the selfless mother, the overgiver. We need to shatter that. We're going to be clearing the channel so you can receive simply because you exist, not because of what you produce for others. You should be paid to exist. And if you don't believe that at this time, that's okay. Be curious. Tap into your inner child. What would it be like to be paid just to exist? The third pillar that we're going to have to break down tonight is the safety of the blindfold. It's sort of like, la, 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 la. This is a freeze trauma problem. Freeze trauma llama problem. I love that. It's cute. I love your guides. The third and final pillar is the belief that indecision is a safe place to hide. This is a primal issue. It is the biological freeze response. It's sort of like if you see somebody hurt or injured, sometimes you freeze because you don't know if you should render assistance to them or if you should just leave them alone. But it's when your body, like I actually froze for a second almost in real time, where suddenly your brain goes blank and the inner chatter of what should I do overtakes and your body can't respond accordingly to what's going on outside of you. When you don't know what to do, Sometimes you have that panic or your mind goes blank. Sometimes you're stuck, hoping, praying that somebody else will come through instead. But because of that, you end up giving away your power. And then you feel guilty from a freeze response. And when you feel guilty, then rather than feeling the guilt, it's easy just to kind of push it away and be like, no, I'm just waiting for divine timing. No, it wasn't meant for me. No, it was just divine timing. Like it's so easy to make excuses when we're in a freeze response. First of all, I want you to forgive yourself for ever having a freeze response. It is a biological response, but it shouldn't be an excuse to be stuck, or it shouldn't be used to, how do I phrase this? To just brush it off, not learn or heal. And then you get stuck in the loop of feeling as though divine timing is against you. The divine opened up an opportunity for you and you froze. Doesn't make you bad. It means that you have information to work with. Because you need to get out of this idea that assuming that if you don't make a choice, you can't make a mistake. It's actually very similar to the first pillar that we had earlier. So tonight we got to shatter the pillar of the freeze. We are bringing warmth back to your primal self so that you can take the blindfold off and trust your next steps, because these activations are going to encourage you to take another step forward. And if you freeze in the step, that's okay. We can talk about that. But you need to acknowledge that you're frozen in time. But I don't want you to make excuses, because it's getting in the way of healing, getting in the way of your ability to step in to your true and highest timeline. Wow. Okay. I'm going to start shifting into the meditation part of our session today. And I'm a little bit excited. I'm going to quickly share this with you before we start our breathing exercise. And I'm going to have a little opening prayer just to open your mind up. And I'm going to be pulling 3 cards. But I have actually recently just manifested my own oracle deck, the Symbols of Inner Light. And I just got my first printouts today. And I'll quickly show you the card at the base before I go to cut. This is the card of cleanse, removing negative, even evil energies, stuff that has been adhered to your body. I'm hearing lifetime after lifetime, your energetic body. But I'm going to be using these cards. Thank you. I'm going to be using these cards as a guiding tool. And I'm not entirely certain if the Reiki meditation is going to be guided or silent. Whenever I do energy channeling, like pure energy channeling, I don't script as a rule. So I want you to have a couple of visuals. And for those of you who had signed up to see this, I'm going to also send you guys a photo of these images and these glyphs so that you can meditate on them more deeply. So we're going to start off with a breathing exercise. And the reason why we do a breathing exercise before meditation is because your body needs a prompt. If we're going to use AI speak, your body actually does need a prompt to know that, oh, we're going from the craziness of today into a divine mindset. And as you practice meditating more and more, the breathing exercise will become a little bit more natural, and going from the crazy loopiness into a more gentle, receptive, meditative space, it does get a lot easier. But that's what I'm here for. Berries is here to help guide you. It's beautiful. I am going to cut, but we do have the symbol of purification. The message on the bottom reads, "It's time to purify deep-seated financial blocks and karmic vows of poverty. Surrender these old entanglements to become a clear channel for the abundance that is your birthright. So, to get started, I want you to take your hands and I want you to place them over your physical heart, just like so. We're going to start with an exhale, and we're going to be doing with a count of 6 on an inhale, 3 seconds to pause, 6 to exhale with a 3-second pause. Go at the pace that feels the most comfortable for you. This should be relaxing. And if you find that you're getting dizzy, it's okay to shorten the period of time between breaths. You're learning how to relax your body. So just honor with where it is that you are at. Okay? All right, start with an exhale. All right, count of 6, inhale. 1, 2. Pause for 3. Exhale, 6. 1. Pause for 3. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause for 3. Exhale. Breathe normal. As we open this circle, we intend that every soul here is held in a blanket of unconditional love and absolute safety. We invite our angels, our highest spirit guides, and our healed ancestors to step into this space. Please sit with us, watch over us, speak to us. May we be granted a quiet mind to hear you and the open heart to receive you. May everything channeled, cleared, and activated tonight serve our absolute highest and greatest good. And so it is. I'm going to go ahead and start the Reiki activation at this time. And I'm going to be showing you these glyphs for you to meditate over. And I'll also be reading their meanings. I hope the music has a good balance. But at the base, over here, we have the card of play. Embrace the beginner's mind. Connect with your fearless inner child to learn new skills with joy and curiosity, free from the weight of self-doubt. Interesting. Manifest. To manifest wealth, you must first purge what drains you. Perform a sacred audit, cut cords with energy siphons, and become an aligned magnet for abundance. cut cords. It is time for surgical severance. Use the sword of truth to cut the root of draining connections and recall your energy back to your sovereign self. Child, you are called to have faith. The answer to your heart's deepest question is yes. You are completely supported. Receive this silent and profound confirmation. You will be okay. Now is the time to broadcast your authentic signal. A karmic spell of silence is broken. Your inner work is complete. It is now time to share your story. Your voice is a beacon of healing to the world. I'm being called to hold a silence, but allow your thoughts to quiet. When you think a thought, just watch it go by, like watching a car on a street. It drives close to you, and then it goes away. There is nothing you need to hold on to in this space. Today, observe your reality, observe your voice, observe your body. And observe it from a space of profound love, the version of you that loves you 100% to the core of your soul. use Reiki energy to help. Just move those thoughts along. They're not welcome here. Notice any yawning. It's just a release, and I encourage you, just let it go, let it go, let it go. And if you feel emotional, just be. This is the beautiful release where joy can finally enter in and replace sorrow. Have faith. It's all working out in the divine time, because it is the perfect time. Your blocks are not punishment. We've already cut the cord. They are opportunities building blocks, if you will. They are your toys, your art supplies, your resources, your epiphanies. Your blockages are bricks of gold to sustain you, to support you, to enrich you from a soul level. Just allow the energy to flow. No effort is required of you. It's time to stop performing for other people. It's time to show up in your authenticity, to speak honestly about how you truly feel, and to feel safe knowing the truth does protect you. Release. It is released. We shall release. Just allow your body to release, even if it is a funny biological function. That's your body talking to you. That is your divine confirmation from your sacred body, from your sacred vessel. You weren't tired, you were just compressed. Can you just believe for this very moment you are so loved? Can you just trust the universe actually has your back on this? This is all coming from your higher self, your blueprint, the very core of everything that you are resonates with love, and the rest of your journey is just chipping away the unwanted bits. And as we start to wind down this activation, if you feel called to, place your hands on your heart. And I encourage you to feel that divine flow pushed in front of you and brought back within, washing like a wave, pushing through your heart space, receiving all that you are. Just feel that tide. May your body take it as a memory as you go about your waking days. This gentle whisper and this reminder: you have access to infinite power and infinite love, and it all lives within your heart. Beautiful. Start anchoring in your energy, grounding you guys in, and disconnecting. And so it is. Wow. Even I'm floored with how powerful that meditation totally felt. And I'm kind of curious, how do you feel now? You're very welcome. You're welcome, Jamie. Oh, just check in with yourself. If you have that piece of paper right next to you, I want you to write down an emotion. I love that. That was magic. I want you to also write down what word spoke to you the most today, because we had messages of playfulness, this childlike curiosity. We had messages of manifesting to actually access your own abundance. We cut more cords so that you're no longer attracted to people who would siphon from you. You've been encouraged to have faith in the process, faith that your heart's desire is good and that the divine does say yes. You've also been encouraged it's time to start broadcasting who you are. Because the more you feel comfortable with who you are on a day-to-day basis, it becomes so much easier to be yourself. And it doesn't even waste energy. What's interesting is I called my power back from all lifetimes, timelines, dimensions, and people earlier. Gosh, I want to cry. I felt that. I absolutely felt that. It's time to broadcast. I agree. And broadcasting the frequency that you are at and being so open to what the reflection of the universe is showing you. Guys, I want to thank you so much for attending the first There are going to be so many more of these. And I want you guys to keep coming back. Why? Because I enjoy your company. And the more I practice these techniques, I can let go of the past. I can recover from PTSD episodes a lot more quickly. I can digest my emotions effortlessly. That's what this work is going to be about. So if you guys want to attend next week's clearing session, I'm going to be a little less cryptic about the link because I was very conscientious about a lot of you in the collective who don't feel protected at this time. But I still want you to take the time to sign up for the next session because I can send you some reminders. And I also want to send you some photos of these oracle cards that I have been designing. Plus, it's going to give you a chance to give me some feedback, because if there's anyone in here who doesn't feel better after this session, I actually want you to tell me. Or if there's something that you were hoping to get and you didn't see it, again, I want to hear about it. I'm going to be putting a link into the chat, and I'm also going to put it into the comment box for those of you who are going to be catching the replay, because at least when you sign up, I can send you that replay link, especially if you can't make it to the live session. That said, everybody, I genuinely hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. I will be sending out a link within the next day or so with the replay. And I encourage you to listen to it as often as you can, even if you just want to skip over to the point where we're doing the meditation. And also, here's the beautiful thing about Reiki energy. You can put it on mute and you can have your own quiet time with the divine. Every single channeled container that I offer you guys, it's all theatrics at the end of the day, but use these tools the way that you want to. This is your coloring book. This is your chance to start playing around and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I will say that there is an activation card underneath the card of play. Your homework this week, if you choose to accept it, what does it mean for you to play around in the metaphysical sandbox? What does it mean for you to play with energy and knowing that when you're doing it from a state of love, no harm can come to you. No evil eye can touch you. Because when you're in pure vibrational love, you're above all of that. So have fun. I want you to have fun this week. Play around. See the humor of the universe. And I want you guys to keep an eye out for ways that your manifestations are actually coming true, even in the most ridiculous sense. Thank you again so much for attending. I love all of you guys. And until I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.